Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Aaron B. So, it is the final mock draft for this year. I'm just doing a fifth round mock, and I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I was thinking we should get in the trenches, so that's why with the first overall pick, 12th overall, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama. Yes, Alabama. He was a left guard for the University of Alabama, but I think he can convert to right guard, right? Because we know that Zach Martin has retired, and there's an opening spot for right guard. I know we could think of Brock Hoffman, but you got to put your cowboy hat on. They want to get another blue chip offensive guard, and I think when you get a Tyler Booker, he plays with a good, strong base and balance, great hand placement. Once he gets a hand on a defensive lineman, it's already done. He's got that. He has a high IQ, a great lower half, and plays with explosion. This still needs to work on his feet placement laterally, but overall, he is a blue chip type of guard on this team. And I believe the Cowboys are going offensive line with the first overall pick. And if we get Tyler Booker this year, I think we're pretty much set on offensive line. And it still needs some development from Tyler Guyton. Tyler Smith said Cooper Beebe showed a good rookie year. I believe he's our center. Now you have his offensive line coach as well there. So when you get Tyler Booker in there, you got a good inside offensive line right there. Playing with a lot of power and physicality. It's going to look good on Sunday. So Tyler Booker with the first round pick. So let's go with our second round pick, and that is the Blue Star Special, Siobhan Revel out of ECU. And why I say Blue Star Special, he has first round talent, but he had a torn ACL in the third game last year. He's 6'3", 193 pounds, has great length, and has tremendous recovery speed and also explosiveness. And he can. Another thing is he's a press man corner. He can track with any receiver out there. It just hopefully he can get back to that same level he did when he was at ECU. Came from being a walk-on at a small school out on the East Coast, but now he still showed that he could be a top talent last year. But can he get to even at least 85% what he was last year before the ACL injury? You got a really good pick in Siobhan Revel. So let's get into our third round pick. I did just talk about Connor Riley, former offensive coordinator for Kansas State, now our offensive line coach. Let's bring another Kansas State connection. That is DJ Giddens, running back out of Kansas State, is another former walk-on. One thing you notice about the game, he's a patient runner. He's not just going to run into he's waiting for that right moment to open that gap and make a big play or a big run. And also adds some addition into the receiving game as well. And one thing, he has good long speed. He's a stride runner. He's 6'1", 212, a tall runner. And I think he would be a really solid running back on here with Giddens, Williams, Miles Sanders. I think you got a solid running back room. And then you got his former offensive line coach knowing what type of runs could help DJ Giddens succeed for the Dallas Cowboys as a running back. So I did not forget. Absolutely did not forget. We need a wide receiver in this room, and in the fifth round, 149th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Kobe Hudson, wide receiver at UCF. Is one of the more underrated wide receivers in this draft. There's a lot of good receivers out there, and he can run the full route tree. That's a check when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. Plays with above average speed and can be pressed with his sudden lateral moves and get that good separation. And one thing you notice about his game, he can track the ball in traffic and come down with it effortlessly. He's not the 6'4", 6'5" guys like the Ted McMillans and the other receivers that we want. But he's 6'1" and about 193. He's kind of that similar size to a Michael Gallup. You're probably maybe getting that same type of similarity to his game, but he could possibly be better. He just played he played in the Big 12, and there's a lot of receivers in this draft, and he kind of in that funk like, okay, some people may know who he is and some people may not. But watching the film, that'd be a great addition for the Dallas Cowboys. But last but certainly not least, we got to get that one tech. And I got CJ West, defensive tackle from Indiana. And when I looked at his game, he's not the he has a short arm length, but he's 6'1", 315, good size as a one tech. He's a shorter guy, but he wins in the leverage game against taller offensive linemen. He's gonna win the leverage game most of the time because he has a quick first step getting off the ball. He ran like a sub-5 in the 40. I know 40 don't really matter much as a defensive tackle, but when you see his game, he's an explosive defensive tackle who can play one tech, and you can put him in three tech, but I think his bread and butter is going to be at one tech. Can be a disruptor in the pass rush game, but he's going to be a tremendous run stopper. It can be a good rotation in early downs with Mozzie Smith. So you got to get the one tech in there because that's one of the biggest needs to this team is a good rotation with Mozzie Smith. Hopefully Mozzie Smith can elevate his game even more than it was. You've seen in that second half he was getting better. But you got a new defensive line coach, Aaron Whitecotton, showed he's a really good defensive line coach with the Jets. Maybe he can help elevate Mozzie Smith. And then you add in a CJ West to this defensive line room in the one tech room. But this is my 5th overall pick. But before I let y'all go, we got a show on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. with my guys, Demaris Edwards from Busta_Texas on Twitch, and my guy, James Espinosa, host of the Sunday Sports Rush in Corpus Christi. We're going to be discussing the draft and having a good time. And I hope y'all come and join, ask us questions and stuff. And just overall, we want to have a good time with y'all just talking about the draft and everything else that's going on in the football world and Dallas Cowboys stuff. You already know. But this has been my final mock draft. I'm glad I could do it. I'm glad I wish I could have been more into the draft than I was. But, hey, things happen for a reason. But I can't wait for the draft on Thursday. I know y'all are too if you're a big draft fan like me. But y'all have a good one. Peace.